I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim Porter?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
Yes.
a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy.
Remember when Beyonce and Jay-Z were ready to drag Jaguar Wright into court after she went on P.I. Morgan and blasted them? Well,
allegedly the song Daughter on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album, it's potentially a murder confession about Jay-Z's mistress, Kathy White. Buckle up. On August 28, 2011, Beyonce announced her pregnancy at the MTV VMAs. On January 7th, 2012, Blue Ivy was born into this world. In 2016, Beyonce dropped Lemonade. Now, as we all know, Lemonade was a true album about infidelity. Jay-Z was rumored to have a very long-time mistress. People knew of Kathy White because of Jay-Z, okay? So here's where it gets a little crazy. Kathy White was known to be pregnant in 2011. Shortly after giving birth, Kathy died mysteriously in her apartment of a brain aneurysm.
I have a feeling this is related.
Now, even though we saw Beyonce's bump publicly, there's a video of Beyonce sitting down for an interview and her whole stomach just deflates in the video, and it's very weird.
This is crazy.
If you listen to Daughter, the song completely illustrates a confession. The lyrics in the song say, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors, your bloodstains on my custom coutures. Bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan. I tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do." So fans are speculating that Beyonce had Kathy White kissed after Kathy White had the baby and claimed the baby as her own, and that baby is Blue Ivy.
it looks like we finally see why they snapped so hard, because all roads lead back to Jay's late mistress, Kathy White. Beyonce really thought she had this all wrapped up after she and Jay allegedly made Kathy disappear. But you know the saying, what's done in the dark always comes to light. And baby, that light is burning bright right now. The whispers are wild.
If it's what you truly want, I can wear her skin over mine, her hair over mine, her hands as gloves, her teeth as confetti, her scalp a cap, her sternum my bedazzled cane. We can pose for a photograph, all three of us, immortalized. You and your perfect girl.
Not only are Bey and Jay being accused of plotting Kathy's death, but the streets are saying something even crazier. Kathy White might actually be Blue's real mother. The story goes that Beyonce cut a deal, letting Kathy carry the baby while she strutted around flaunting a fake bump to sell the world on her pregnancy. This deal supposedly came after Beyoncé found out Jay was creeping with Kathy behind her back. But here's where it gets sinister. After Kathy gave birth, rumors say Beyoncé allegedly had her taken out for good. Jaguar Wright has been the loudest voice exposing this supposed plot, and she's still blasting them non-stop. Now, when Kathy suddenly passed away, the official reports claimed natural causes, a brain aneurysm. But if these whispers hold weight, that cause of death might not be the full story.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress,
yeah,
who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You, Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo.
Oof.
I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
But let's be real. Nobody believed that story back then, and folks still don't buy it to this day. The first person to call out the shady details in Kathy's autopsy was none other than the blogger Hollywood Street King. He was actually the first to blast out the tea on Kathy and Jay's secret affair, and according to him, he knew foul play was in the mix right from the start. Why? Because just days before Kathy supposedly dropped dead from that brain aneurysm, she had reached out to him saying her life was in danger. After her death, Hollywood Street King went digging for the truth and even published an explosive article exposing what he found. But here's the twist. He got silenced and pressured to yank the whole investigation off his site. Still, nothing ever really vanishes on the internet, and now that old article is back in circulation, stirring up even more heat for Bay and Jay. And baby, the words in that piece were wild. The article flat out said Hollywood Street King was the first to reveal that 28-year-old Kathy White was Jay-Z's mistress. Don't believe me? Ask Claudia Jordan, it read. Now before we move on, let's clear something up. Claudia Jordan wasn't just a random name. She was Kathy's best friend. Reports even say Jay met Kathy through Claudia. And to make it even messier, when Hollywood Street King first dropped the bomb, he posted photos of Jay, Kathy, and Claudia all together in the club, just weeks before Kathy's sudden death. So yeah, remember Claudia's name because it keeps popping up in this story. Keep that in mind, because it's going to matter later. Back to the resurfaced article. Hollywood Street King dropped some chilling claims. He wrote, "Yesterday I got the news that Kathy Michelle White had suddenly passed away. So I quickly began my investigation. And guess what? Kathy did not die from a brain aneurysm like the internet is reporting." According to an NYPD detective, Kathy's true cause of death is still uncertain. He went on to say the detective made it clear. The case was already considered suspicious. And get this, Kathy died exactly 1 year to the day after he first exposed her secret affair with Jay-Z. Now tell me that's not eerie. According to Hollywood Street King, a 911 call came from an apartment on West 19th Street in Manhattan. Kathy was rushed by ambulance to Beth Israel Hospital after suddenly falling ill, and that's where she died. But here's the kicker. He claimed it was way too early to be throwing around aneurysm as the cause. He wrote that an autopsy would be happening later that day, and toxicology tests were also on the way, hinting that Kathy might have been slipped a bad drug. The results, he said, wouldn't come in for 2 weeks. And here's the real bombshell. 2 weeks before her death, Kathy had allegedly been contacted by a major tabloid investigating her connection to Jay. She didn't spill much, but according to sources, after that call, Kathy phoned Jay directly and told him she was ready to go public with the affair, for the right price. All this went down in just 2 weeks. And here's where it gets chilling. A little over 48 hours after Beyoncé announced she was pregnant with Jay's baby, Kathy White suddenly turned up dead under suspicious circumstances. Did you catch that detail? Kathy was reported dead just days after the world was told Beyoncé had supposedly given birth to Blue. People online didn't miss a beat. They started running their own timelines, and the math isn't adding up. Kathy's death lined up way too neatly with Blue's birth date for it to be brushed off as coincidence. And if that wasn't shady enough, remember that viral clip where Beyoncé's baby bump caved in like a folded piece of fabric when she sat down? Be honest. You've never in your life seen a real pregnant belly fold up like that. And here's where it gets even darker. Last year, Beyoncé dropped her song Daughter, which many believe was a veiled confession. Fans speculate it was about Blue Ivy and about Beyoncé allegedly having to take Kathy White's life to protect her secret. The lyrics read like she was admitting to silencing her partner's mistress for good. So, the running theory? Kathy carried Blue as a surrogate, gave birth, and Beyoncé allegedly had her removed from the picture, then stepped in to claim Blue as her own. And for a lot of people, that theory fits perfectly, especially since Blue favors Beyoncé in looks, despite the whispers she came from Kathy's womb. And if that wasn't enough, people even started pulling up one of Beyoncé's darkest poems from her track Anger. And trust me, it's twisted. In that same track, Beyoncé even talks about how she'd do anything to keep her man, including wearing the skin and hair of her husband's dead lover. Creepy, right? And just when you think it couldn't get messier, Jaguar Wright jumps in and you already know she didn't hold back. She straight up stirred the pot and left folks side-eyeing Beyoncé even harder. Now let's be clear, these claims are all speculation. Nothing's been confirmed. But that hasn't stopped the internet from running wild. One person said, "When I saw Beyoncé's stomach fold over on that talk show, I wondered why she was pretending to be pregnant. Then I heard Jay-Z's mistress Kathy had died and she was pregnant." Well, 2 and 2 added up. Kathy's grave should be dug up to see if the unborn baby is still there. But something tells me it's not. Because Kathy's baby is Blue Ivy Carter. Another person chimed in with, "I also feel like because Kathy was the one actually pregnant, Beyoncé got jealous and furious, so she decided to fake her pregnancy." Well, y'all know the rest, LOL. So, here's the big question. Do you believe Jay-Z and Beyoncé really had a hand in Kathy White's death? And is Blue actually Kathy's child? People can't stop debating it. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Star T channel for more of this messy tea.